How would you feel if you lost 200 grand and then you rang up the person that lost you 200 grand and they said, don't worry, if you invest more, and you say, I haven't got any more. And then they go, well, do you know anyone that has? We've got this other scheme. The audacity! The apartment blocks that Jack claims to be using for rent-to-rents, in my opinion, don't exist. What makes me think that? Well, with the payment stopping to the investors, with no head leases, with no contracts, with no addresses, looking very sus. So, as I did a bit of investigation, I went to his website and I looked and investigated his pictures that he'd got on his website with his showcasing his apartment blocks. Now, very, very simply, all you have to do when you see people showcasing their apartment blocks is save the image and then put it onto Google image search. And what this does is it shows you if that image has ever been anywhere else on Google and where it originated from initially. The properties that he's got on his website, most of them, they're not even in the UK. They're apartment blocks in Poland, in Dublin, and one of them, which is actually a big development in London, you know what's really interesting? That development is actually owned by somebody that I know. And guess what? I reached out to him. And guess what he told me? He told me that they're all privately rented, that none of those properties had ever been used for social housing. Now maybe, let's give benefit of doubt. Maybe Jack just used these images for examples for visual effect. So I went a step further. The part addresses of the blocks that he's got on his contracts, I drove to these developments, some of them at least, on the contracts. I found the developers, the agents, and even knocked the doors, and guess what? Not one of them were used for social housing. Literally, there was one block and it was owned by one person. We spoke to the developer. These are made up. It gets even worse. The social housing provider that he's renting these properties to, who are they? There's no contract between Jack and these housing providers anywhere that anybody's ever seen. So he's taking huge sums of money from investors to finance rent-to-rents that the addresses have not even been disclosed, with housing providers who can't be revealed either, with leases that have never been seen.